Today on Torah Tech Tips, we're going to play a game. Hello everybody, Rabbi David here from Torah Tech Tips, where I try and give you some great tips for your great Torah. Folks, we need to have some fun. Nowadays, we need to be able to play and have some fun, especially when we're trying to share Torah. People are feeling cooped up, they're feeling frustrated. We need to bring the fun. And so that's why today I want to talk to you about online games and how you can use online games to really engage your students, to engage your communities. And we're going to look at one tool in particular today. It's called WordWall, and I want to show it to you now. So this is WordWall. It's wordwall.net. WordWall.net is free to use. There are limitations and there are paid plans. So if you go up to their first paid plan, I think you get a certain number of printables, or you can add interactive games, team games where people can play against one another. But the basic WordWall is free. And WordWall is really, really powerful. It's a wonderful tool to create your own games and to find other games that have already been made. So I'm already logged in here to my account. I'm going to go up here to my activities. And I've made a whole bunch of activities, and I've also stolen, don't tell anyone, a whole bunch of wonderful activities also. Let me show you just one. So this is my Wheel of Jewish Questions. So I'll show you in a moment how to make these, but they're incredibly simple. So let me start this game, and I'm actually going to make it full screen before we go any farther. So right down here in the bottom right corner, there's a full screen button. And now there are sound effects that go along with these. You won't be able to hear them in this video, but you'll have to take my word for it. And you just spin the wheel, and it'll land on something. It'll blow that up. And then you've got yourself a question. What is something special that we do to celebrate Sukkot? And then once you answer that, you can either dismiss that question, or you can go on to another question. You can keep spinning. Let me give you another example. I'll go back up to my activities, and let's look at a tefillah game. Let's see, Shema and her blessings. So these are the blessings over creation, right? So the blessings that we say in the morning to celebrate the creation of the world. I'm going to make this big again so you all can see it. And you can see that I took some Hebrew, which I honestly just copied from, you can copy it from Safari, you can type it in, however you'd like to do it. I put it in here, and I took out some of the words, and those words are up here at the top. So let's see, Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer Or, I'll drag that guy down, Uvorei Choshech, Oseh Shalom, Uvorei Et Hakol. You get this last one here. And now, let's see how I did. Now again, there are sound effects, like I'm getting a ding, ding, ding as we do this, but it will actually check the work for you, because the way you set it up ahead of time is to give it the correct answers. But not just creating your own activities. There are also tons, hundreds, thousands of activities already in here. So if you go to the community tab up at the top, let's say you're looking for a Hebrew activity. Just type in Hebrew, and it'll bring up hundreds and hundreds of activities teaching Hebrew, from letter recognition to tefillah, to prayer, to using nikudot, using vowels, to writing script or writing cursive or print block letters. The possibilities are endless here. Let's go in and let's actually create an activity together. So I'm going to go up here to create activity, and you can see that I have a number of different options. There's a matchup, random cards, find the match, game show quiz. Let's do a random wheel. So this is like the wheel that I showed you before. Now what I can do is I can give this a title. We'll call it education. No, let's call it my favorite candy. And you can put a text in the middle if you want. And then you can put lots of different options. So let's do chocolate. What else should we do? What's another good? Twizzlers. Candy corn, that's one of my favorites. And let's do one more. Let's do Sour Patch Kids. All right, so now I've got 4 different options. Let's see, do I need a minimum of 3? So as long as you have 3, you're good to go. You can add pictures to these also. If you click on the image button right next to each word, it will automatically it'll read the word that you put in and it'll automatically find pictures that will go along with it. I like this one right here, so I'm gonna choose that. And let's do Twizzlers. Yeah, it found Twizzlers. Let's choose that one. All right, let's look at candy corn. Is it gonna find candy corn? Oh man, candy corn. And let's see if it finds Sour Patch Kids. Amazing. I had to do no work. Click on done, and it's going to create this game for me. Let's make it full screen, and let's click start and see what happens. Now, because I only gave 4 options, it looks a little strange, but you can spin it. And there's a little white arrow. I don't know if you can see it over there. There's a little white arrow which goes to the one that you actually chose. Let's give that a spin, see what it lands on. Come on, candy corn. Come on, no, I'm gonna, oh, wait. No, Twizzlers. All right, you get the idea. It's a lot of fun, and you can create really great stuff. And then you can play it along with your students when you're in a Zoom. Just share your screen, and they can play the games along with you. I'm going to let you peruse around wordwall.net. If you want to borrow or use some of the games that I've created, just go to search for Rabbi David. That's my username over here in Wordwall. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's really engaging. Now, there are games that people can play on. So first of all, people can play on their own, right? So if you create a game, you can share a link with them. Let me show you how to do that. Let's go into my Tefillah, one of my Tefillah games. We'll go to Shema. We'll do the same one we did before. So here's my Creation Prayers game. And down at the bottom, there's a share button. Click on that share button. Now, you can assign this to students. If your students are this is part of the paid tiers. If your students are part of WordWall, you can actually set an assignment, as it were, of these games, and it'll keep track of how the students do. What I usually do is just click on Get Link, and it'll give you a link. You can simply paste this into your web browser, share your screen in Zoom if that's what you're using, and everyone will be able to play. Now, they won't be able to interact with it. If you want people to be able to interact with it on their own, then there are these, I think I called them team games before, but I'm not sure that they're actually called team games. Let's see what they call them here. What do they call them? Multiplayer games. I apologize. They're called multiplayer games. So there are multiplayer games that you can play. But this is going to actually bring us to my free tip of the week. And that is, don't assume that everyone has a second device that they can log into in order to play these multiplayer games. So let's say you're in a Zoom call, you got your kids or your students, your adults, whoever sitting in front of their computer, and they're participating in this Zoom call, and then you share a link in the chat and you invite them to go to that link. Well, some people will have a secondary device. Maybe they're in the Zoom call on their computer and they can use their phone. And then they can go to that link and they can play along on their phone. If they don't have a secondary device, that means they have to open their web browser. If they're using the native Zoom app, they have to open their web browser, go to that page, and it should work. The problem is not everyone is quite as savvy as you are and I am with Zoom. And so what will often happen is they'll click on their browser and then they'll lose Zoom, and Zoom will kind of disappear and they'll never be able to find it again. So playing multiplayer games in real time where people are interacting with the game can be tricky when you're also doing a Zoom call or a Meet call or any other platform. So bear in mind that not everyone is going to have the capability to actually have 2 tabs open or Zoom plus their browser open. So what you can do in that case is you can play it with them. So what I usually do with my kids is, because let's say we're doing that game where they have to put the words in the right place in the bracha and the blessing, I'll say to them, okay, let's read the words at the top. What word should go where? And then they'll tell me what color, or they'll give me the word, and then I'll drag it down for them. Another thing you can do is you can allow people to annotate on your shared screen. If you do that, they can actually draw a line from wherever they want to move things. If it's a matching game or something like that, they can actually draw the lines, and then you can drag it over. That way they don't have to have multiple programs or multiple windows open at the same time. So have fun with WordWall, use games, create games, borrow games from other people. It makes the learning so much fun for adults, for kids, for everyone. I've used this for both adults and children, but also remember that sometimes people can struggle a little bit with having multiple devices or multiple windows or multiple programs open at the same time. Folks, that's it for this week on Torah Tech Tips. I hope I see you next time for another episode. Have a wonderful week.